What's up, my comic comrades? Today we break down a brand new title, a number one, if you will, and that is the New Avengers issue 1. That's right, the New Avengers just got a brand new title with a brand new roster. A roster in which Carnage is a member. That's right, apparently Carnage is joining the all-new Avengers along with Namor, Clea, and others. But I'm gonna stop yapping and just get right into it. So the issue starts off in the New Mexico desert where we see Bucky talking to an old man at a gas station as the old man says, "Ain't that something? A sky like that is practically a sign from above to sit back and enjoy life." Bucky responds, "Yeah, I'm not very good at taking it easy, historically speaking." The old man then tells him, "Well, there's always a rocking chair here for you, Bucky. You know, I've come to really enjoy our chats." Bucky responds, "Me too. I've actually learned a lot from you." Earl asks, "Is that right? Life lessons? Worth what you paid for them?" As Earl laughs, Bucky responds, "No, I've heard you've had some trouble too taking it easy, informing on locals who dare resist Dr. Doom's rule. And what do you get for selling out your neighbors?" We then see Earl's facial expression change to an "oh crap" face while saying, "Well, I don't know what are you talking about again? I mean, you can't blame me for, I guess you can. Bucky, they cut me a deal on gas prices. That's it. Doom rules the world. I'm just a realist. I don't know nothing about the rest of his machine." Bucky tells him, "I know. I just want to make an example of you," as he lights a Molotov cocktail bomb and throws it at the gas station, causing it to blow up. On the next page, as we see Bucky walking away, someone puts a gun to his head as he asks, "How did you sneak up on me like that?" The person responds, "I know all your weaknesses." Molotov cocktail? A bit obvious for a man called the Revolution. He responds, "The Revolution belongs to everyone. It doesn't need me anymore. I'm just the Winter Soldier now." The person then says, "Look at you out here with no one to watch your back." He says, "Yeah, I've been working alone. Easier this way. Quiet, no drama. It's your fault, you know. You're the one who left." We then see it's a woman as she says, "I know, but some things are more fun together." On the next page, we see this woman is Natasha, aka the Black Widow, as the two of them are laying in bed after getting their freak on. Bucky tells her, "I miss you, Natasha." She says, "Oh, sweet James, I missed you too. Maybe." He then tells her, "I'm sweet as pie, darling. Stick around for a while. You'll see." She says, "Maybe I'd stay longer if you didn't live in a rusty soup can." He then asks, "Where did you run off to this time?" She says, "Actually, James, we need to have a talk about a situation." He says, "Stop. I know that look. You have a mission. Missions need teams. No more teams." But of course she shows him what the mission is, as he says while looking at a hologram, "Come on, this broken down lumber camp on the ass end of Russia got you spooked? You're the Black Widow." She tells him it has received enough shipments of generic technology to make Reed Richards blush. He then responds, "So call Cap, call Carol. I'm done with teams. Too loud, too messy, too chaotic." She then tells him nasty things are flourishing in Doom's shadow. "We're the disinfectant." He responds, "I'm doing my part. I'm resisting." She says, "By blowing up gas stations?" Doom wept. "It's a dirty world. The old tricks don't work anymore." He's like, "Right, I'm gonna go back to bed. Are you coming with me?" She responds, "What? Is your tender heart too bruised? Walk it off." James, over 200 people have disappeared from the surrounding villages. They're trapped, James, in some sort of nightmare laboratory. He pauses and says, "Okay, it's a dirty world, so let's fight dirty." Sometime later, we see Winter Soldier and Black Widow make their way to Russia, specifically the facility Black Widow showed Winter Soldier. As they're taking out security around the facility, Black Widow says, "I see you kept up your training." He tells her, "Thanks for noticing. I reckon I could take you now." She's like, "Dream on. Where's our diversion?" At which point a walkie says, "Intruder, East Gate, all units on me." Bucky then says, "There she is," as we see someone slice through soldiers, literally impaling them from behind and slicing their guns in half, with Bucky saying, "See? Right on time." Natasha says, "Are you sure she could handle it, James?" He says, "Of course. She's the best there is at what she does." Natasha asks, "Better than him?" He says, "I didn't call him, did I?" As we see it's Wolverine's daughter and or Laura Kinney Wolverine killing the Russian security left and right. Now let's pause for a second. I'm down with X-23/Laura Kinney Wolverine as much as the next person, but let's not act like she's better than Wolverine. Bucky being like, "I didn't call him, did I?" After Natasha asks, "Is she better than him?" I love you, Bucky, but you're tripping and you know it, because we all know Logan is that dude, and you literally stole his saying she's the best there is at what she does. Anyway, the comic then takes us to New York City then, where we see Bucky finding Laura to recruit her. She's all like, "You think you're so slick sneaking up on me here?" He says, "Nope, you're too good for me." She asks, "Why are you bothering me again?" He then says, "I got a new one for you, Laura. You're gonna love it. I'm getting a group together for..." She then interrupts him saying, "Hard pass." He's like, "Wait, hang on." She says, "Nothing personal, Bucky. I know your crowd. Captain America, Captain Marvel, Captain blah blah blah. My vibe is more unsettling. I'm not joining up just so I could be judged." He then tells her, "I know what it's like to unsettle a whole room of heroes. I wouldn't put you in that position. I need you because of your vibe. I definitely got some bad impulses that need to be put to good use. How about you, Wolverine?" We're then taken back to now, where we see Wolverine continuing to slaughter all of the Russian security at the facility. As Bucky says to Black Widow, see, she's damn impressive. Admit it. Black Widow says, fine, now focus. Heat signatures, third building on the left. Bucky then pries open the door with his metal arm as he says to her, you were vicious back there, by the way. Want to make out? She answers, desperately, but the clock is ticking. Get us in there. He does, and when they go inside, he says, dear God, as they see tons of people who have been experimented on. In fact, as they leave, he even sees a woman who now has a mutilated face with 3 eyeballs. And as they continue to come out, Bucky says, we've walked into a nightmare. I'm sorry we came too late. Wolverine, you done mopping up? Rendezvous at the big white cube. Bucky then looks at the facility saying, I don't blow this up, I'll never sleep again. Black Widow tells them, not the plan, James. Get the civilians, get out. Wolverine then says, screw the plan. I'm jacked on adrenaline. Let's break some noses. They then go inside and see a massive cloning device that Wolverine says looks like a big zit, while asking Black Widow and Winter Soldier, want me to pop it? At which point a voice says, hello, hi, welcome. I could see you appreciate great art. Just wait, my real masterpieces are right behind these doors. Once you see them, you'll never be the same. As the Winter Soldier says, the Jackal, with Wolverine saying, green furry guy looks bad. Bucky says, yeah, and don't mention him in front of Spider-Man. Jackal, you're usually slumming it in the sewers. What's with this fancy lab and private army? Black Widow's like, it doesn't matter. Take him out. Jackal then tells them there are people out there who reward talent like mine. Control, open containment unit 1 through 7. Thank you. If you like my hired hands out there, you'll just love the big guns. At this point, Winter Soldier pulls out a detonator saying, you're not the only one with big guns, Jackal. As he presses it, someone or something comes shooting into the building that sends them all flying in a big explosion. We're then taken to the Bay of Fundy, Canada, then, where we see Bucky recruiting Namor. Namor says, I got your message. It was extremely loud. There are scores of killer whales who are irate at you. Perhaps I should make introductions. Bucky says, I need a favor, Namor, from one invader's buddy to another. He replies, I see you haven't changed. Always thinking of the old war. Let me guess, some terrible thing is happening on the surface and you're recruiting. What is it now? The Thunderbolts? Bucky's like, what? No, not a team, just like a group of like-minded people who, okay, it's sounding a lot like a team, but I promise. Come on, Namor, I need someone who's good at challenging their anger. I'm pissed as hell these days, aren't you? Let's do something about it. Namor says, if I say yes, Barnes, remember this. I am of royal blood, and royalty belongs with the Avengers. We're then taken back to now, where we see that the thing shooting in, causing the explosion in the facility, was of course Namor, who says, tell me, Barnes, where shall I direct my fury? He responds, a little to the left next time. So just to catch you up, we're improvising. Then one of the cloning doors starts opening up with green ooze coming out of it as Wolverine says, heads up, whatever's coming for us is coming right now. Bucky, is this a sick joke? What the hell is Professor X doing here? Wait, Iron Man? As Iron Man seemingly comes out blasting the heroes, and on the next page we see it's not only an Iron Man clone, but also a Charles Xavier, Black Panther, Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, and more. All clones of the originals. Essentially, the Jackal made evil clones of the Illuminati, and they are all starting to attack the heroes. Namor then tells everyone this lineup sends a message, but the Jackal could not know. Bucky's like, you mean the Illuminati, Namor? Steve told me all about your secret club. Black Widow says, we don't need another group of arrogant egos trying to run the world. Do not let them escape. As the Doctor Strange evil clone starts using his magical abilities in New York City, Clea says, Stephen Strange? Is that you? I sense you, my love. We then see the Jackal also made an evil octopus Namor clone. Namor asks, is this troll meant to be me? It responds laughing, saying, I have a name of my own, twin. Call me Imperious Rex, which is clearly meant to mock Namor. On the next page, Wolverine asks, hey, so do we have to hold back or nah? Iron Man then flies her up into the sky while saying, heroes do, we don't, bro. She then says, bleed, bro, stabbing Iron Man several times in the torso. Namor then brings the Jackal in the air by his neck saying, what have you done? Defiling royal blood, perverting Atlantean life. I'll mutilate you beyond recognition. Jackal says, oh, Submariner, I know you're too noble to actually kill me. I'll just clone you again and again. At which point Bucky yells, Namor, stop. He's the only one with the answers. Namor says, silence, Barnes, I won't. But suddenly, someone or something has decapitated Jackal as Namor is now just holding his head. Black Widow says, what happened? Where's his body? James, who else is in the Illuminati? He answers saying, good lord, I think it's Black Bolt. As we see on the next page, he would be correct, as this evil clone Black Bolt uses his scream on the heroes, sending them flying. In fact, it's so powerful, we see the victims they freed earlier, who are now making their way to safety in the forest, are also feeling the effects of Black Bolt's scream. And with that, the comic ends. I'm really digging this roster so far, and judging by the cover, we still have Scar, Clea, and Carnage who are going to join the team. I cannot wait for Carnage specifically. I'm very curious to see how he joins the team. Is he recruited, or is it something along the lines where it's just in his best interest to work with them? I also like that the villains are an evil Illuminati. I think that's a really cool spin. The question is, why did the Jackal make them, and who hired hired him to make them. Either way, I'm definitely going to check out issue 2, but what do you guys think? Are you digging this first issue, and are you going to continue to read the series? Also, do you like the new lineup for this new Avengers team? Let us know all of your thoughts down in the comments. Other than that, we will see you next time when we talk about all things comics.